Thanks for staying up later. Julie Brown of MTV fame is with us. I don't know where to start with you. If people watch MTV, they know. If they don't have MTV or they're not inclined to watch it, how shall I explain?
I don't know.
What to do is my question.
I don't know how you'd explain.
Well, I guess let's start with the show where you used to do commentaries, and I guess it's in reruns now. You used to do commentaries about the videos, and unlike the rather respectful treatment that most of the MTV crowd VJs gave, you sort of skewered them.
Well, what happened was I had this record that I was trying to get MTV to play my video. This was, you know, about 4 years ago, called Trapped in the Body of a White Girl. And they wouldn't play my video, and I thought, you know, how can I get them to play this? And Mark Goodman, who was a VJ and a friend of mine, he told them that they should have me on, that I would, you know, be funny.
Right.
So finally, the other Julie Brown, who is black, who is not me,
that would be
she's
downtown
British,
Julie Brown.
Julie Brown, she was going to the hospital for plastic surgery. So MTV called me up and said, do you want to pretend you're the other Julie Brown after plastic surgery? And I thought, my God, I can't believe they'll let me do this. And they said, you can. So I went on, and I said, if you play my video, I'll do this. So I went on for a week. I agreed to be a VJ, and I pretended for about 2 days that I was the other Julie Brown after plastic surgery. And they got calls and letters, and then finally I revealed that I was yet a whole other Julie Brown. But I decided that if I was going to spend a week on this channel, there's no way I can pretend these videos are cool like the VJs do, because some of them are so incredibly stupid, okay?
Yeah.
And so I thought I'd make fun of them. And I thought they'll either like it or they'll just bounce me off the air immediately. And they appreciated it. So that's how that started, me making fun of them. It was just in relationship to what do you do if you're stuck on MTV?
What's the most egregious thing out there in pop culture that really annoys you, that you would just like to skewer? If you could stay up 24 hours a day and beyond 24 hours a day, you'd just nail that person or that thing?
Well, this is something I consistently do, and people wonder what's wrong with me. I do make fun of blonde women, the blonde superstars, you know, because they get away with murder, and it just bugs me, you know? I mean, why? Why does Kim Basinger, why are men just like drooling over her? Why, okay? I mean, what is it? It's probably because I spent, the years I spent struggling to be an actress, that you'd be in this, you know, casting room, and then this girl that you saw with like absolutely no talent, you know, who just had a tight sweater on and blonde hair would get the part. It does annoy you. It does annoy you when you go to the movies and you see the girl part, that the guys are doing all these interesting things, and the girl is just standing there looking cute, not really having anything to say or do that's important. It bothers me that that's like, that's an okay thing, that's revered by, I guess, the men that create television and movies, and, you know, or the audience.
You also don't have much regard for Sheena Easton, although she showed herself to have a sense of humor, right?
She did. I went after Sheena for a long time. I mean, I really...
Whose hair is more or less your color now that I think of it.
It kind of is, but I just thought, you know, she's just so darn cute. I'm going to kill her. No, I just thought... You know, she does those commercials where she shows her stomach before she worked out and then after she worked out. Have you seen those commercials? What's the difference? It's like, here I am perfect, here I am more perfect.
It's not like she was Ralph Kramden or something.
Exactly. I mean, here I'm really darling, here I'm extra darling. So I thought, I'm going to go after this girl. And so I started making fun of her. I had this, there was a show I had where I had been exposed to radioactivity, so I was using this stuff called Sheena poo, and it was making my hair fall out. And I just like made lots of fun of her. Plus her name is great, just saying, I'm going after you, Sheena. You know, it just is a great name.
There's a certain jungle sound to it.
It is. And,
like she should be in leopard skin or something.
Well, and she is in her videos, too, you know, in some of them. And so I made so much fun of her, and finally she sent me this big thing of chocolate saying, Julie, you bitch, when are you going to have me on your show? So I sent her back a giant thing of muffins saying, Sheena, thanks for trying to make me fat. Okay, I'll write you a part. So we wrote this episode, Charlie and I. Charlie Coffey writes the shows with me. And we did sort of a gaslight thing where she came in and was trying to make me insane, because I thought that was fair, to have her torturing me on the show. And she was really cute, and she was great, and she does have a great sense of humor. So I didn't know, though, you know, but she was great.
But I quit!
To one extent or another, you have to be a fan of this stuff
to the music?
Parody it the way you do.
Yeah, that's true. And I am a fan. I mean, I am a fan of music. I've always loved it. It's just that there's so many of the videos are so ripe to just make jokes about, too. I mean, they're so incredibly goofy, don't you think?
Well, goofy on the one hand, and then maybe you might take it a step further. Do some of these videos, especially, and this I realize is a generalization, but especially what would be called, if you had to have a category, heavy metal type stuff, where the women are all sex objects and it's like an endless sort of sub-adolescent fantasy. You can make fun of that. On the other hand, you could say, if you take it seriously, it's kind of troubling. Yeah, it is.
I made a lot of fun of that, about, you know, women exposing their bodies, and I would make fun of the bimbos that the heavy metal guys would use. I mean, there is, you know, an exploitation of that, and I thought, you know, if these heavy metal guys are going to exploit women's bodies to get ratings, I'm going to do it too, right? And of course, I think this is exactly what Madonna does. Which is one of the great things about her, you know, she said, look it. I have this great body. I can become a millionaire, a multimillionaire. I'm going to do it. And she did. And in a way, it's like she's not a victim. That's what's great about her image. She completely took control and said, here's my body, deal with it. And that's why I think she became so powerful.
The spoof of Truth or Dare that you did was really well received. I read at least 3 or 4 reviews. They all happened to be in New York papers, because that's where I was at the time that it first was released. But it really...
Yes, it was well received.
It really was well received.
Bob?
It was. I'm not kidding.
Well, I was really happy that it was, because with something like that, I mean, you have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. You know, I didn't know if Madonna was going to sue me or beat me up, or if people would go, what the hell are you doing, or, you know, trying to, you know, parody her. Plus, I couldn't work out as much as she did. So I thought, you know, I'm not going to look exactly like her. There's no way. So I was real happy that people liked it as much as they did. It was
well,
really...
everything was kind of exaggerated, so you didn't have to look exactly like her. I mean, she wore a pointy bra, and you wore something akin to, well, like a highway cone.
Yes, like highway cones, yes, but more tasteful than that. Yeah, well, I did exaggerate everything a little bit to make the point.
What, if any, reaction did you get from Madonna directly?
Well, one day her agent called asking for the tape, and I was like completely terrified. I thought, oh my God, this is it. She's going to come after me, you know, because I have visions of her being like the toughest chick in high school who, you know, would throw you up against the lockers and beat the hell out of you.
And probably have the weapons just on her as a matter of course.
Just in her hair, you know. But what happened was Madonna had already seen it. The agent, when they finally got through, said, and she had a Medusa screening party for her friends, so she had the tape and watched it, and they liked it a lot. And the agent just wanted to see it, so she said, no, Madonna loves it, it's great. And that was a relief, because that's how I sort of pictured her, as having a sense of humor about herself. You wanted to think that, right? I mean, I do.
But like I said earlier, it's obvious that you're a pop culture consumer. You don't just stand back with total disdain. I mean, this is kind of an ambivalent relationship going on here.
Completely, absolutely. I mean, I think it has to be. I mean, if I just hated it, I don't know if I could actually act the parts out. You know what I mean? I would just be maybe, you know what I'm saying, writing jokes about it. But the fact that I like put on these blonde wigs and pretend to be a bimbo while I'm making fun of it means there's something in me that sort of likes it and wants to be like that. Probably everybody would like that. And probably you, Bob.
Well, I'm a natural for it. Yeah. There's something a little kitschy about even your get-up here, right?
What are you talking about?
I'm sorry.
No, yes, there is. It is, it's like big. It's bigger than life, right?
Just like you, Julie.
Yes. It's like flashy, yeah.
And we're back now with Julie Brown. About a year or so ago, Julian Temple was here. He directed you in Earth Girls Are Easy. Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum and others were in it. And is it true that the notion for this came out of a song that you wrote?
Yeah, it was a song that Charlie and I wrote on my first record called Earth Girls Are Easy. And we were writing the song, we thought of the movie. I mean, because it's a theatrical song. And so then I released this record, and Warner Brothers actually came to me and said, these songs are so theatrical. And this is when Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun was like a cult hit in LA on this station called K-Rock. And I said, yes, I happen to have this movie idea. I pitched it to them, and they bought it. It was, you know, incredibly weird, and a weird way to do it. And then we started writing the movie.
But was the inspiration for the song itself, later made into the movie, the notion Earth Girls Are Easy, because in tabloids, aliens are always coming down and not only snatching people away from their homes and taking them to Mercury or Venus, but very often having sex with them.
Yes, exactly. It really came from a tabloid thing.
Saturday night, come on!
Anyway, that's how we started the idea of this, that aliens having sex with human beings, and then it grew into this song. And then the title is, I think, it's, you know, the point of the whole movie is that Earth girls aren't easy, you know, that that actually women do want a lot. I mean, that's the lead character wants, you know, someone who's loyal to her and, you know, going to be there for her and listens to her and, you know, is sexual with her. So it's just about, in a way, the sort of a guy point of view, an alien guy point of view about Earth girls, which isn't true.
You were in Shakes the Clown.
Did you see that?
Recently. Yes, I did.
Did you?
And this is a fine bit of business, but I understand that the clown lobby, such as it is, was greatly offended. They thought it was like clown bashing or something.
Isn't that so pathetic? I mean, what? These are clowns. They're supposed to be funny.
Right.
They're supposed to have a sense of humor, and they got really upset about this movie. Like Bob was trying to say all clowns are alcoholics, you know, which is true. But no, like that Bob was trying to say that. It's not a documentary. It's just, you know, a movie about this clown.
I guess they figured it was piling on because it comes right on the heels of Homie the Clown. And,
You're
you know,
right.
And
I hadn't even thought
Homie's
about
always
that.
kicking butt and
Yeah.
doing unclown-like
So
things.
people, they probably feel like people are doing these really abusive things to clowns. It's time, though. I think it's time, and they deserve it. Did you think clowns were funny when you were growing up?
You know what? This is really gonna disillusion some people because I guess it's not an all-American thing to say.
What?
But and I didn't think clowns were that funny.
But see, I think that's how everybody truly feels. It's just that they don't really say it.
You know, this whole thing, this whole art thing, like this whole Pagliacci thing, and
They
like
make me
like
sick.
Emmett Kelly, and the pathos and the sadness, and
Ew,
the
it's
smile
so-
isn't far away from a tear.
Ew, it's so pathetic, I think. I do. They're grown men, and they get out of little cars, and they have big feet on, and it's like,
Right.
what is going on?
And the old seltzer bottle trick.
Yes, I hate that. It just, have you seen those Red Skelton, all the paintings he does of
Yeah.
clowns? Are those scary?
You know, there's a whole Red Skelton gallery in St. Petersburg.
Yes.
And it's right near where the Cardinals train and the Mets used to train. And I would be down there every spring, and you'd pass like this Red Skelton gallery, like 53,000 paintings of clowns' faces.
I know. Like we're supposed to really care about them. I always thought they were really scary and creepy when I was little. So when Bob was...
It's this far removed. It is this far removed. It's supposed to be funny, and to some people it is, and it is about that far of a notch removed from being totally frightening.
I know.
You know, where the little kid will get under the big top, the clown will take off the mask,
And he's a
the kid will
monster.
never see his parents again.
I know, exactly. I know. Well, I think that's what Shakes the Clown is sort of about. It's the dark side of clowns, and they just obviously don't have a big sense of humor about it. And when he gave me the script, I thought it was just hilarious that they went after clowns like this. I thought it was great and time to be done.
You know what? I'm saying this is so insensitive. This is the truth. I'm not making this up. My younger sister is a
clown.
professional clown. She is.
Oh, no, she's going to get really mad at you now.
She bills herself as Goosey the Clown. And she goes around to, like,
so sad,
children's
Bob.
hospitals and birthday parties and stuff. And actually, and maybe it's because she's my sister, but she has, like, she has a warm heart.
Yeah.
And it comes across in that context with these kids as very nice and touching, and she's kind of
Well, that's
clever.
sweet.
And
So
she
she,
pulls the
like-
stuff out of this big bag
Right.
of tricks and everything. And
Right, so it is kind of sweet.
it has more of a vaudeville feel to
Yeah,
it
yeah,
than a circus
than a creepy
feel.
circus feel. Well, that's nice. See, now I feel bad because we've made fun of them. Because your sister's probably a nice clown.
She's a sweet and
Okay.
innocent clown.
The only nice clown in America.
Did you really, this seems almost too pat.
What?
Did you really go to Catholic school with nuns like tapping a ruler into the palm of their hands?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The nuns that I had were so psycho that, I mean, I have flashbacks remembering how they were. They're, you know, first of all, think about how insane it is that you have these women who are not allowed to have sex teaching children. How frustrated are they going to be, right? Children are on their nerves anyway. They can't go home. They're just like, and relax. It's terrible. It's a terrible situation, I think.
You know, clowns were one thing. I was ready to wade in with 2 big feet into this clown thing.
No, I'm
but
after the
here,
nuns.
I'm keeping my distance.
They would say things like, I'm going to shake you out of your boots, and then they would take you and, like, whip your head back and forth, shake you, and that, like, I think causes spinal injuries. That's what they do to the first grade class. It's incredible. This one used to say in 4th grade, I have a spanking machine in that closet. And you know, when you're that young, you believe stuff like this. And she would threaten to send you into this room with the spanking machine.
And if Madonna was in the class, she'd volunteer.
Please send me now. Yeah, that's why she probably went to this school. Yeah, no, these nuns, they are like really, they're really wild people.
Not all of them, right?
You know, I can't remember the nice ones. There probably were a few, but I cannot remember them.
This was not a good experience for you.
No, oh no, it's very, they just would go crazy. They would go so crazy with you. But the reason I finally left was in 7th grade, I made like some joke or something in class, and this one nun, she hauled off and slapped me as hard as she could across the face. I don't even think it was a joke, I said something. And then she came up to me later and she hugged me and she goes, "I'm sorry, we're still friends, aren't we?" And I was like, I went home and I told my mother, this was when it was like being slapped into reality. I said, I have to get out of this school. You have to send me to public school. And the next year, that woman was sent to an insane asylum. And she had been teaching everyone all year.
This is really just a horrific tale.
I know.
How have you survived to tell the story to a breathless
public? Look at my
public?
career, Bob. I mean, I'm acting it out, you know?
Well, now this situation, if it is as you described, sort of demands release. I mean, it's almost like a movie script where somebody's got to shake this institution in some way.
Well, I probably should write a movie where a little kid, you know, takes vengeance on the nuns or something. I don't know.
Well, what did you do? I mean, you must have had some pranks or something that kind of let the air out of the balloon.
You'd be killed if you did pranks. I mean, you'd be totally killed, you know. So no, you couldn't really do anything without just getting beaten up. So you didn't. I mean, I think I saved it all up for when I actually could have a career.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Bob.
We're gone. See you later.